James Kaufman, World News Report today. Ladies and gentlemen, as of yesterday, the FAA and the Pentagon issued a note to all airmen, or a NOTAM, halting all flight operations to and from El Paso International Airport for 10 days. Now, the reason they gave at first was temporary flight restrictions for special security reasons. You can see that El Paso International Airport is located right here. I'm going to give you a close-up of it and tell you what was really going on. Ladies and gentlemen, it turns out that the Mexican drug cartels were flying drones over the U.S.-Mexican border and over parts of El Paso. At this time, it is still unknown if these were weaponized drones or if they were actually carrying cargo, i.e. drugs, across the border. The Pentagon, again, closed all flights in and out of El Paso International Airport here and used Biggs Army Airfield at Fort Bliss here to actually counter-strike all the drones coming across the border. Now, these were electronic countermeasures that took down all the drones, and I guess you're not able to fly jets in and out of the airport while these measures are occurring. This did open back up in about 40 hours. Again, it was initially set up for a 10-day situation. They used counter-drone activities all day yesterday and into tonight. They have reopened El Paso International Airport as of about an hour ago. And the counter-drone measures, in fact, did work correctly. And this out today, the temporary was a 10-day closure of airspace over El Paso has been lifted. There is no threat to commercial aviation. All flights will resume as normal. The FAA, i.e. via the Pentagon. Now, only after the threat was neutralized did we have Secretary Sean Duffy, our Transportation Secretary, come out and actually give the public the truth. The FAA and DOW acted swiftly to address a cartel drone incursion. The threat has been neutralized and there is no danger to commercial travel in the region. Restrictions have been lifted and normal flights are resuming. But, ladies and gentlemen, this does tell us how close we are to Mexico, obviously abutting it, and how easy it is for them to send drones into the U.S. They could be armed or they could be carrying cargo. If armed, they could be a huge problem, obviously. And we really have no defenses set up on the southern border for these incursions unless they're, well, temporary. And that probably means flights. Probably means flights patrolling the border, taking down drones with electronic countermeasures. So, it sounds like we need an electronic drone countermeasure fence of some sort that runs along the entire southern border, period. We can't have an open border where small drones can work their way into the United States, especially if they happen to be armed, especially with big cities like San Antonio and Houston and Dallas and El Paso, for that matter, all within striking distance. And by striking distance, well, El Paso is on the border. It would take 2 minutes to strike El Paso. God bless, folks. Please share. Always remember, anything's possible. Bizarro world.